All seems to be going well at Manchester United for Erik Ten Hag in his maiden season as manager of one of the biggest football clubs in the world. Despite a very shaky start, most notably the 4-0 hammering at the hands of Brentford in August, United appear to be getting back towards their old selves and appear to be on the verge of challenging for the major honours once more. The Premier League title hasn't found its way back to the Old Trafford trophy cabinet since the departure of Sir Alex Ferguson. Even though it may not be this season, Ten Hag looks most likely to be the man to succeed where predecessors David Moyes, fellow Dutchman Louis Van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Gunnar Solskjaer and Ralph Rangnick previously failed in bringing the coveted league title back to the red half of Manchester for the 21st time. In an effort to finally become the successful successor of Sir Alex, Ten Hag also brought in Wout Weghorst on loan during the winter transfer window. So today in Football Reality, we're investigating whether Ten Hag is getting what he wanted out of his compatriot Weghorst. Much of Ten Hag's success can be attributed to the club's financial backing over the summer, with massive transfer fees shelled out for Brazilian duo Casemiro and Antony. Although the latter is still very much finding his feet in England, the experienced Casemiro has transformed United's fortunes dramatically, and is a big part of why United are back into the top four, as well as Marcus Rashford's hot form. The money had dried up by the time January arrived, and with reinforcements needed, the United boss was forced to turn to the loan market. Marcel Sabitzer was snapped up in a shrewd deal, but in a more surprising move, Ten Hag opted to get fellow Dutchman Wout Weghorst on board in order to boost his attacking options. Cristiano Ronaldo's well-documented departure and Anthony Martial's ongoing fitness issues meant that Ten Hag saw Weghorst, despite a difficult previous spell in the Premier League, as a temporary option to his centre-forward needs. Weghorst is actually still a Burnley player, but has not turned out for the Clarets since their relegation last year. Prior to the 2022-23 campaign, the Dutch international agreed to join Turkish Premier League giant Besiktas on a season-long loan, but when United came searching for a striker and inquired about Weghorst, his head was turned, and subsequently his loan move in Turkey was cut short, despite a promising start, which had seen him score 8 times in 16 appearances. United paid £3 million to take the big Dutchman on loan for the rest of this season, with a fee split evenly between Burnley and Besiktas for their troubles. The Dutch connection was certainly a factor when it came to Ten Hag's decision, but Weghorst's less than impressive spell at Burnley last season, which saw him score only twice and assist 3 times in 20 games, and ending in relegation, caused many onlookers to wonder, why Wout? What cannot be argued with is the giant Dutchman's goal-scoring record before joining Burnley last season. Weghorst was prolific for Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga, scoring 42 league goals in 2.5 seasons, despite not playing for one of the league's top teams at the time. Before that, Weghorst had also been one of the top finishers in his home league, having scored 57 times in 4 seasons for Hercules Almelo and AZ Alkmaar between 2014 and 2018 in the Eredivisie. Most recently, Weghorst enjoyed perhaps the best moment of his career so far, when he scored twice after coming from the bench for the Netherlands to snatch an unlikely draw against eventual winners Argentina. Perhaps this is what had convinced Ten Hag that Weghorst was his man in January 2023. Interestingly, United's attack is focused around pace, skill and versatility, with the likes of Rashford, Martial, Antony and now Jadon Sancho, making up a fluid, easy-on-the-eye front line, as well as Bruno Fernandes with his creativity from out wide and deeper in midfield. It'd be fair to say that, standing at a height of 109 centimetres or 6 foot 6 inches, Weghorst doesn't fit the bill here. In fact, he sticks out like a sore thumb. This may also be one of the reasons Ten Hag was so drawn to him when looking for his new frontman. Weghorst gives United a different dimension completely. While the likes of Rashford and Antony are constantly looking to beat their man or to run in behind the opposition defence, Weghorst will hold up the play, bring others into the action and cause the defence an aerial problem, all the things that the United team was lacking before his arrival. It's hard to argue that even though the two haven't directly combined for many goals so far, Marcus Rashford has enjoyed his best football in his Manchester United career since Weghorst arrived on the scene. The target man system is not one Ten Hag generally employed at Ajax either, with Brazilian wingers Antony and David Neres playing in support of the creative false nine Dusan Tadic in another fluid attacking trio for the Dutch champions. However, Weghorst signing at United has changed that, with the target man being joined by Rashford and Antony in the front three. Although the team are playing well and winning on all fronts with Rashford banging in the goals for fun, Wout's numbers aren't great. Despite the goals in Turkey this year showing that his goal-scoring touch hasn't deserted him, the Premier League still hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Weghorst, and he's yet to find the net in the league in a red shirt. In fact, despite the link-up with Rashford and co appearing to be a good one, Weghorst took 5 matches to even register any kind of attacking involvement when he set up substitute Alejandro Garnacho's goal in the 2-0 win against Leeds United in February. The Dutchman has managed 1 goal in a United shirt, which turned out to be an important one, even though it didn't come in the league. Weghorst scored United's second in the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg win against Nottingham Forest at the City Ground to get himself off the mark. He reacted quickest in the box when Antony's shot was parried by keeper Wayne Hennessy and kept his composure to guide the ball into the net to give United full control of the tie. It's league goals United fans want though, but how do they get about getting the big Dutchman on the score sheet when it really matters? Weghorst thrives on crosses into the box, but that would involve changing the way United play. And with the team in hot form at the moment, it's unlikely that they will change their style, which currently revolves around fast-paced passing football and releasing the likes of Rashford and Sancho to run in behind the fullbacks. Weghorst would typically feed off quality deliveries from the fullbacks, but even though Luke Shaw and Diogo Dalot possess that quality, their first thought is always to get the ball down to the ground and play. So, how long is it until Weghorst is considered a flop? The team is winning and playing well, but is that meaning that Weghorst's own shortcomings are being hidden away? Some in the media are already questioning whether Wout is the right man to take United onto the next level, with pundit Micah Richards even suggesting that he's United's weak link. The only problem I see with Manchester United is the number 9 position. Wout Weghorst is a good player, he links well, but can he score enough goals to keep them in the race? Richards said after United's win at Leeds. Arsenal have got Gabriel Jesus to come back, Man City have Haaland, and a World Cup winner in Julian Alvarez on the bench. It's hard to argue Richards, with Weghorst yet to get off the mark, having been denied a much-needed goal by VAR at Elland Road against Leeds. To consider Weghorst as a flop after only 5 games in a new, elite football team in a very tough league seems harsh. However, if he doesn't start banging in the goals soon, then questions will no doubt be asked of the big man, with the far more prolific Anthony Martial waiting in the wings to fill the void in the number 9 slot. Erik Ten Hag doesn't normally favour the target man approach, so if this particular target man doesn't start finding the net very soon, then his place will be under threat, and could be returning straight back to Burnley at the end of this campaign. So what do you think about Weghorst? Will he get back on the scoring sheet anytime soon? As always, let us know in the comments. Before you go, hit subscribe so you'll never miss a dose of football reality.